What's up, everybody? It's Magic with RacingNews.com, back for another edition of Dr. Miranda Previews, and with me, as always, is my co-host, Dr. Miranda. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great today. I'm super excited because I was able to get some Keeneland tickets yesterday, so I'll be at the Bluegrass next weekend. So I'll get to see a tough Oaks field there, and then I'm heading to Tennessee this weekend to see my best friend. So it's a good day for me.
Are you allowed to bet on horses in Tennessee, or are you going to have to place all your bets before you cross the border?
I don't think you're allowed to bet in Tennessee, so I think I'm going to have to go on TVG and change the state. Real shady stuff.
Just tell them that you're still back home. They'll never find out.
Yeah, fine.
Well, before we get to the Ashland Stakes at Keeneland next week, and there's the clue to where we're going to be headed next week for Dr. Miranda Previews, we are at Gulfstream Park because we're looking at the Gulfstream Park Oaks. Dr. Miranda, not the biggest field we've ever talked about on here, just 7 fillies, but they're all going for 100 points to the winner for the Kentucky Oaks. It's pretty much going to guarantee their spot. Second place gets 40, pretty much guarantee their spot as well. There's a couple horses in here that we've talked about before. There's Millie Philly, who's a big, the Racing Dudes team is a big fan of Millie Philly. Cone Lima is the horse that you see on the screen. She is going to be trying dirt once again after winning multiple stakes on turf. I'm real curious to hear what you think about all these horses and then who your picks are going to be.
All right, so I'm just going to start this whole thing off by saying if you want to make this preview a drinking game and drink every time I say the Devona Dale, you should do it because I'm saying it a lot. So with this race, you pretty much have the Devona Dale that we just watched last month that turned into such a weird race with whole Bodemeister going gate to wire. Plus, you have a horse in here that's been doing great on turf. They're putting her back on dirt, and you have a couple maiden winners. Do I think we have an actual Kentucky Oaks contender in this race? Absolutely not, unless someone just comes out guns a-blazing. So to start this off, we have the number 1 horse, Cone Lima, who is the biggest question mark to me in this field. She has been doing very well on the turf and has been on turf her last 4 starts, where she's gone 3-4 if you count her last race, which was the disqualification. She has been running great with buyers in the upper 70s and lower 80s, and she's proven on dirt and turf. So she is the most well-rounded filly in this field. But with that said, she's not been on dirt in the last 6 months. So that's a big question mark to me. I mean, Pletcher had Zagel in the last week's Fairgrounds Oaks, and she just failed to show up. I mean, Pletcher still has his monster filly Malathat, who has yet to come back since December, but she will probably be in the next race at Keeneland next weekend. But with that said, this is such a weak field, and I don't know how Cone Lima is going to play out, but I am going to play her defensively in a couple exotics. Now we're going to go with the number 2 horse, Bow Bow Girl. She won her last start, but that was at a maiden 40. It was on a sloppy track, and it doesn't look like it's going to rain this weekend. She finally got the lead in her last time out, and I think that's what she wants. But that's going to be very difficult when you have Cone Lima to your inside with a lot of early speed. She is the daughter of Oxbow, who also sided your Louisiana Derby winner, Hot Rod Charlie, last week. So the pedigree's there. You have to keep Lannery for Dale Romans. But I've said it once, I'll say it again. I do not trust Dale Romans as far as I can throw him in a big race. And let me tell you, that's not very far at all. And then we're going to go with the number 3 horse, who was one of the first of the 4 in the Devona Dale. It's Crazy Beautiful. This is Kenny McPeak's number 2 filly, in my opinion, right behind Simply Ravishing, who I'm also sure is going to show up in the Ashland next week. I'm going to tell you that that's going to be such a great race. I'm super excited. I know I keep talking about it. Anyways, I liked Crazy Beautiful going into the Devona Dale, but she kind of flopped just as Bequist did. But this is her second time off the layoff. I think she's going to do a lot better, and I expect a better race. Last time out, she was reluctant to load, and she was wide the entire race. Like I said, that race was just so weird. It favored inside speed. Robbie comes off of her, and Jose goes up, which I think is going to be a really good thing here. She has the most experience in this high of a class, so I think she's going to hit the board here. And then next, we have the number 4, Penn Street, who comes out with a 9-2 morning line, and I honestly have no idea why. I just think that shows you how weak this field really is. I didn't like her in the Devona Dale, and my opinion hasn't changed since. I don't like her here. I just think that optional claimers and special weights are her ceiling as of right now. I mean, she finished 10 lengths behind the winner in the Devona Dale. She keeps Vasquez, who's only 1 for 11 at this meet. I'm just not going to play her. Now we're going to go with the number 5 horse, Linlow Lady, another Dale Romans horse. Lannery is jumping off of her for the number 2 horse. So this tells me that Dale's number 2 horse, this is his number 2 horse in this race. So, and I'm not even playing the other one, so I'm not going to even play this one. But we're going to talk about her a little bit. She does get John Velasquez, who did take Super Sensational to her best race last week. She got her best buyer. So there's that. But with this horse, it took her 7 times to break her maiden. And she did it in such good fashion, and she won by 10 lengths. But most recently, she was an optional claimer. She went wide and finished 3rd. I just don't see it happening with this girl. But, I mean, weirder things have happened, like the Devona Dale. Now we have the number 6. We go to another familiar girl, the racing dude's favorite named horse, Millie Philly. She was my top pick in the Devona Dale. And I just think she honestly had a really bad trip. She was shuffled back and had to hit the brakes on the turn because of the horses in front of her were fading. She would never regained her speed after that. But I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt in that race. She lost to Malathat at Aqueduct back in December, and that was such a great race. She got an 86 buyer and lost by less than the length. She's a lot better than what she performed in her last race. Gaffleon is jumping on her, and I think he's going to be very aggressive. I've been keeping an eye on her with her workouts, and she just ran a fast 4 furlongs. So I think she's going to be ready to go in this race. And then to round out the field, we have the number 7, Competitive Speed. She got 3rd in the Devona Dale, was wide a lot of the race. But the thing I don't like about her the most is that she got 6th in the Ford Gal behind Zagel. Zagel won that race, and you saw what happened last week. Like I said, she's okay, but I don't think she's G2 material, if that's even a thing. So with all of that said, I'm going to go with number 6, Millie Philly. I just really have to give her another chance because the last race, I think it really messed her up when she had to stop. So with my picks, I'm going to do it a little different this week. I'm going to do a $10 win bet on Millie Philly. And then I'm going to do a $5 exacta box. So that's going to be $10 for you guys. And that's going to be with Millie Philly and Crazy Beautiful. I honestly think it's going to come down to these 2 horses. And then lastly, I'm going to do a 50-cent try box. And I'm going to add in Con Lima, see what she does, and Bow Bow Girl. So that makes it a 1, 2, 3, 6.
I love it. You're switching things up. You feel like this field is a little top heavy, so you're going to adjust it a little bit accordingly to try and get some value and still turn a good profit for the fans that are watching here. By the way, congratulations because you gave out the exacta trifecta and superfecta in the Fairgrounds Oaks. Super Sensational, providing a lot of value underneath. So you stayed with your girl. That was a very smart move here. This is a very interesting field. I'm curious to see what the racing dudes are going to think about it. You can check the inside track to the Florida Derby wagering guide to get all of their thoughts on this race, as well as the entire 14-race card at Gulfstream Park. So go to racenews.com. Check that out. It is available for sale right now. Dr. Miranda, tell the folks at home where they can find you for all of your tips and insight.
At Miranda Bungie.
Perfect. We'll be back next week to cover the Ashland Stakes at Keeneland, as Dr. Miranda told you. Until then, good luck.